This is Mohammed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm joined by Gareth A. Davies. We're not in Wembley as we were last week. We're in New York City for Taylor v Serrano. Eddie Hearn's been going on about how special this fight is. In your opinion, why is it such a special occasion, Gareth?
Well, I want to correct myself first of all. I thought it was a pay-per-view on DAZN. They're not set up yet, but they are going to pay-per-view. It's very special because, we're here with the mainstream boxing media today and sports media, but it crosses over into the mainstream because of the historical nature of the fact that it's the first time two women in Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano have headlined at Madison Square Garden in its tapestried 140-year history. It's an emblematic totemic place for amazing fight nights. Obviously one of the most famous being 1971, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and the fight of the century. Two men had heart attacks here that night, by the way, and all the cinemas around here were showing the fight live, and they even put chairs behind the screen so they were watching them in Southpaw that night. Anyway, it's a massive event because it brings together two very formidable, what people are calling the number one pound for pound and number two pound for pound female fighters for that undisputed lightweight crown that Katie Taylor holds. It's just a moment in time, I think, this, for women's boxing. Women boxed as early as the 1700s, of course. The first televised fight was in 1954. You had people like Cecilia Brækhus going on HBO in the past, Mia St. John, Lucia Riker, all these guys, Layla Ali. But finally, 10 years after the Olympic Games in London, where there were flyweight, lightweight and middleweight Olympic champions for the first time in Olympic history. There was an exhibition bout in 1904 with women. A bit of history for you today, eh? But this is what it is. It's very much about the female arm of the sport. Brings together one of the world's most formidable promoters. I'll give Eddie Hearn stick in a minute and I'll respond to him, but give him praise for putting this on here, selling out Madison Square Garden, and also Jake Paul getting behind Amanda Serrano when he found out how little she was earning. So, you've got a confluence of many things in this event, and that's why we're all here in the Big Apple in Manhattan, here at this brilliant venue at Madison Square Garden for the workouts today.
Well, after that, I think Eddie should slip you a little brown envelope.
I don't want any brown envelopes from Eddie Hearn, thank you very much.
What did you have to respond to from Eddie?
Well, you rang me the other day and said, Eddie knocked your head off the other day when you said that, there were some moral challenges, some ethical challenges about Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua fighting in Saudi Arabia.
We already did this. Do you not remember last week?
Yeah, but you told me that Eddie had said that I was out of order for making those.
Out of order. He said, well, just top up the rest of the purse if we do it in the UK. But we discussed this last week at Fury White Fight Week. Do you not remember?
No, I don't. I was so busy, I do not remember.
Yeah, we've done this.
Okay, fine. Well,
anyways, anything else you want to say?
Eddie today, I'm going to see him face to face today, aren't I? So
that'll be a good head-to-head. Gareth A. Davies for Eddie Hearn. Gareth, I just want to go back to last week, of course, where we saw Tyson Fury stop Dillian Whyte in 6 rounds. Is that what you expected to happen?
Yeah, I mean, you did. You expected Eddie. Are you shaving me with that this morning or not? Uppercut. Before, as you went into the event, I always pick Tyson Fury to win on points or a late stoppage. The sport is always about levels, and I think Tyson Fury is in his purple patch at the moment, in his prime. And he picked Dillian Whyte apart. He was awkward for Dillian. We saw frustration from Dillian as early as the kind of end of the second round. And Tyson Fury was just too good. Dillian gave his all, I believe. He's getting stick from some quarters. I think that's ridiculous. Fury's so good at the moment. He dwarfs the rest of the heavyweights in the division for me. Of course, Alexander Usyk is a challenge in boxing terms, technically. But Fury was phenomenal. It really felt like a Freddie Mercury concert in there. It felt like a Queen concert. It felt like the most triumphant. It was an air of triumphalism in the arena, in the stadium all night. I had the privilege of being involved in the broadcast for Talk Sport. They got their biggest numbers ever for a live event. And it showed, it was like a genuine homecoming for Tyson Fury. The fight week built, and you when you're around an event very close, you start to bring the two protagonists closer together, and you start to think about, will Tyson indulge in a toe-to-toe war, and will it give Dillian Whyte more opportunities in the fight? And in the end, he was just too good for him. And you know, Fury, if that's the last punch he ever throws, the sweet uppercut, setting it up off the jab in the 6th round as Dillian Whyte fatigued. And he did push him. There's no question he pushed him, but I think Dillian was on the way. He might have taken a real shellacking in that round had that fight not been stopped then. But all glory to the Gypsy King. He's done it again. He soaked it all up. He soaked the whole week up. He was, you were around him all week. He was amazing to be around last week, as was Dillian actually. And it was a lot of fun, and the two men clearly respect each other. I don't see a rematch, and I don't see Fury retiring forever either.
Okay, I put this to both Frank Warren on Monday and Eddie Hearn yesterday about who's the biggest star now and who's got the better resume. Of course, Frank thinks the better resume lies with Tyson, and he's the biggest star. Eddie pushed his case to why Joshua's still the biggest star, and their resume are on par with each other, I think he said. What is your opinion on that?
Well, resume doesn't matter. Tyson Fury's a 2-time undefeated lineal Ring magazine holding heavyweight champion who's never been defeated. He's had 3 trilogy fights with Deontay Wilder. He's beaten Klitschko when he was at his best. It's a comparison that doesn't work for me. Yes, Anthony Joshua's had a fantastic run. He beat Klitschko, he beat Povetkin, he beat Pulev, he beat Parker. Who else is there on? Whyte. He rematched against Ruiz. If he can beat Usyk, he's right back up there in the challenge. If he can find the technical wherewithal and the cojones and the vim and the vigour to beat Usyk, he's right back up there challenging Fury for the fight. And I really do think Fury will come back. No, Fury's easily got the best career resume. I mean, how can you question it? 3 fights. What would have happened in 3 fights with Deontay Wilder for Anthony Joshua? He might have won 2 of them, but I think Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua needs to happen at some point as well. Your light's just gone off.
On that note, it's a good job we're closing off. Gareth A. Davies, thank you very much. Saunter IFL TV, the shades are back on. Roll on the rest of the fight week.
Yeah,
Shades.
All right. They are glasses, but shades. Great to see you as always.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.